Hello, my friends, and welcome back to KTB Creates. Today, I am excited to share with you 5 beautiful farmhouse DIYs. So let's go ahead and get crafting. For this first DIY, this is a sign that I had purchased at the Target dollar spot, I think about 2 summers ago. And I never really did anything with it. It's an adorable little sign. So I wanted to go ahead and create a sign that you can use for parties and different get-togethers where it holds your solo cups and everybody can write their name on their cup so you can identify whose cup is whose. So all I did was I used my Cricut and I just designed these words. It says mark your cup and drink up. And then we're going to put the rest of it together. Now, this sign stands up, and I wanted it to be something that you can easily like fold up and put away. So I didn't want to glue the bottom portion that's going to hold the cups. You'll see here I'm just using a regular shadow box frame from the Dollar Tree. I just removed that inner part, and then I'm going to take off the backing so it lays flat. Next, all I did was apply some contact paper. This is contact paper that I've had forever. I purchased it at Walmart, and I'm just measuring it to fit right in that square. This is where the cups are going to go. So there's no need to seal it or anything like that because it is contact paper. And then now it's time to apply a little bit of Velcro because we're going to attach a Sharpie to the sign that you can use to mark your cup. So all I'm doing is cutting a square tab to fit the Sharpie and applying that to the sign. And then we're also going to cut some Velcro to Velcro that bottom portion to the top portion of the sign because, like I said, that way you can rip it apart to kind of put it away and lay flat. And I just think it's such a cute idea to have something nice like this out for a party or get together. This is how it looks when I was all finished. And I just love the way this looks. And I can't wait to have people over and start to feel somewhat normal again. So I'm excited to be able to use this for my parties. I'm so excited to be part of Heidi Sonboul's Friend Friday Hop today. Heidi is an amazing crafter, super, super talented. So we put together a group of us, and all you're going to do is go ahead down in the description box and click on the link to hop on over to the next video. You will not be disappointed. A lot of cool projects. So let's go ahead and get right into our next DIY. This was a little suitcase that I had picked up at a thrift store years ago. I don't even know how much I paid for it, but I'm sure it was less than like $5. And I just loved it. It's actually a wood box. It's wooden, but it has these beautiful leather straps on it and buckle and handle and all that. And I just loved the look of it. I wasn't thrilled with the plaid on top. So we're going to change that up a little bit. Also, the wood on it had like a really reddish tone to it, and I wasn't a fan of that. So all I did here was I took some antique wax from Waverly, and I am just applying that like a paint and onto all the pieces that had wood. Then I took my mineral chalk paint from Waverly, and that is what we're going to use to paint right over all of that plaid houndstooth. And you know, if you want it to be really particular with this, you probably could have taped off the leather pieces and the wood, but time isn't always my friend, and I just decided to go ahead and just be really careful around those edges, and I just used a little baby wipe to wipe up some of the mistakes that I made. Once the paint was dry, all I did was I grabbed these rub-on transfers that I got at the Dollar Tree, and this piece fit exactly perfectly right in the center of that suitcase right on top. So I am just going to apply the whole rub-on transfer on. Now, I know some people struggle with these rub-on transfers, but I'm here to tell you that you just have to be patient. You're just going to take something that could scrape it really, really well, and you really just have to keep going over it. You'll see, I'm going to show you a close-up of how you could tell if it's perfectly transferred, the transfer paper will start to lift up, and the pieces that are transferred will turn into like a really light gray. You could probably tell a difference between the black, and then the gray portions is what has perfectly transferred onto the piece. So you just have to keep working at it, and I'm so excited with the way it came out. Here is the most satisfying part of all, is peeling this all up and showing off the beautiful transfer. So I just love the reveal part of these DIYs. And here it is. And like I said, it transferred out perfectly. So I am totally obsessed with this little suitcase. I plan on using it for just storage and things like that, maybe in my craft room or really anywhere. It's a decent size suitcase, and you could probably fit quite a bit in here. So you'll have to let me know what you think. As always, I love to hear from all of you. Let me know which one is your favorite DIY for today. And don't forget to go ahead and visit me over on my social media platforms. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you join part of my family. You will not be sorry. I love to include all kinds of DIYs and thrift store projects. So go ahead and click that subscribe button and hop on over to my Instagram page and check me out over there, because I like to share a lot of different more personal aspects of my life and things like that over there. So I would love to catch up with you on Instagram. For the next DIY, I took one of these mini cloches that you can get at the Dollar Tree. It's plastic, but we're going to make it look a little bit higher end with a little bit of spray paint and some succulents. So I had this candlestick. This was just something I picked up at a thrift store. You could also probably use a candlestick from the Dollar Tree. I am really into this flat Rust-Oleum 2x Ultra Cover spray paint. It is phenomenal. So all I'm going to do is spray paint the base to the cloche and that candlestick holder with that flat paint. Here I'm showing you I decided to add a little bead to the top of the cloche. So all I'm doing here is I'm actually using spackle. Wood putty might work a little bit better, but this is what I had on hand. So I'm just going to cover up the holes from this bead, and I'm going to spray paint this as well with that flat black spray paint. And then I somehow didn't record this, but I did go ahead and decorate the inside of the cloche with some beautiful, colorful succulents that I found at the Dollar Tree and some Spanish moss. So I just stuck, I think, 4 different succulents up in there, and I arranged the Spanish moss around it. And then all I did was hot glue the little bead right to the top of the cloche, and I hot glued the candlestick to the bottom portion of that, and that was it. This was a really simple, easy to do DIY, and I think it's just so cute. You can change out the inside portion. You can change that out seasonally if you want it to do. You could decorate it for Christmas, or more of a spring arrangement or summer arrangement with more colorful flowers and things like that. But I just loved how cute and I think really high-end this looks for something that is just a little plastic piece that I got at the Dollar Tree. So for the next project, this is just a simple organizer basket that I found at the Dollar Tree. It's a cute little perfect square. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with these. I bought a few of them, but I thought I would just make a cute little farmhouse type of a sign. So I went online and I printed out a little saying, always stay humble and kind. It's a free printable that I'll leave in the description box below as well. And all I'm doing here is just cutting it down to size to fit. I'm using a piece of foam board that we're going to put as the backing in that little basket. So that I'm just kind of measuring until I like the size that it is to fit on that foam board. So that's the foam board that we're going to use. We're actually going to use the same contact paper that I used earlier to cover the foam board piece. So I just put a little piece on the back of it because you will be able to see the back. And then you put a little bit of a larger piece on the front. And then you could fold all the edges over for the front piece to give it more of a cleaner look. So I'll show you how to do that right here. Next, all I did was take a regular glue stick and I'm just going to glue this piece of paper right over the foam board backing. You could probably use Mod Podge as well, but I kind of got away from doing that. I just like the way the glue stick works better. You don't have to worry about bubbling or anything like that. And if the piece isn't going to get wet or anything like that, then I think using this glue stick is just fine to do. So that's all I did here. And then I'm going to put that right in the center. And just to dress it up a little bit, I thought it was a little bit too plain. I went ahead and took a Sharpie marker and I'm just going to add some what I call stitching around the edges of the sign. It's something really simple that anybody can do, and I think it just dresses up any kind of sign. It just makes it look finished, I guess I would say. So I love the way this looks. I was going to leave it with just having it at the top and the bottom, but then I decided to go ahead and add it around all four sides. And now you're ready to go ahead and hot glue that all together. So this is what your sign looks like. I don't think I mentioned, I did go ahead and spray paint that in the flat black spray paint as well. And then I just hot glued the four corners, stuck my foam board piece in, and then just flipped it over and added a whole bunch of hot glue to the back for some extra added security. Now, the sign does stand up pretty well on its side, but I wanted to make it a little bit more sturdy. So I went ahead and painted some Jenga block pieces black. So I'm using a total of 4 of them. And we're just going to apply that to the back portion of the sign, just so that it stands up really nice and doesn't tip over or fall over too easily. And then I just hot glued 2 of the pieces together to apply to the back of the frame, and I'm going to hot glue that all on there as well. And then I took the 2 other pieces and I applied them on top of the ones laying flat. If that makes sense, you can see what I'm doing here to kind of explain what I'm doing a little bit better. And then for the finishing touch on this one, I'm just going to add a little buffalo check ribbon to the top of our sign. And it is complete. Here is the finished result. And then for the last project, again, I'm just going to give new life to a thrift store find. This was a piece that I found, and I believe it was used as like a wedding, like centerpiece, like a table marker. It's flat on one side, and the opposite side, there's a clip on it that you can clip things to it. So all I'm doing here is just applying some white chalk paint to it. I'm brushing it on pretty thick, but not complete coverage because again, I do like that farmhouse, more rustic type look. So that's all I'm doing here. I'm just painting front, back, and sides. And then once I was done doing that, all I'm going to do is dress it up a bit with some floral pieces. So I'm just adding a little bit of greenery as the base. And because it is two-sided, I'm just kind of going to apply them toward the top of the sign. These are beautiful peonies that I found at the Dollar Tree. They are so pretty. You get a whole bunch for $1, so definitely grab them if you see them. So I'm just applying 3 buds to one side of the frame along with some different pieces of greenery just to add a little bit of interest to it. And that's really it. I mean, it's a very easy piece to decorate and redo. It's why I love thrift store shopping, because you know what someone else doesn't have any use for, you could definitely take and recreate into something beautiful, some beautiful decor for your home. So here is what this finished project looks like. So I hope you love this as well. Don't forget to let me know which one was your favorite. And as soon as you're done watching here, go ahead and click in the description box to take you to the next person in the hop. You don't want to miss it. There are so many wonderfully talented ladies joining us here today. And thank you goes out to Heidi for putting this all together. I hope you all have a beautiful, wonderful week, and I will see you all very soon. Here's a look at all of the finished pieces. Enjoy!